Swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
What's up, YouTube? This is kind of a follow-up video to yesterday's video. There were a couple of things that I wanted to point out that I didn't mention yesterday, or forgot to mention rather. One thing I want to point out here in the item shop, when I was talking about the crew pass, I know I mentioned about, you got V-Bucks every month and you could buy an avatar with that, but one of the things you also get with this crew pass is you do get an avatar every month. So every month that goes by, that you're a subscriber, you do get a brand new avatar, and they have like a legacy set where you basically get knickknacks, harvesters, back blings, and whatever else. The other thing I wanted to mention is when I was talking about the level up, the battle pass levels that you can buy. Another thing that will eventually come out, usually comes out around mid-season to late season. They will sell an avatar that you can buy, and what happens is like you'll get a free level ups. You can get anywhere between 20 to 30 levels. I want to say 30. Where you basically just run around, and collect level ups or whatever. So if you're needing help leveling, this item and that item when it comes out would definitely be the way to go. Yeah, I don't think it's out yet. Yeah, they definitely wait till later in the season to release that. As I mentioned, Pac-Man, definitely worth getting. This was actually a gift for me. That was given to me. It actually got gifted to me before I had a chance to get it myself, which I am very appreciative of. Uh, One of the things I want to kind of note, if you guys notice, I had a blue background. I'm on my own client today, so I kind of have it tweaked. I'm using the Performance DirectX driver. A while back, they decided to phase out DirectX 10, which honestly, to this day, I don't understand why they bothered to do that. I haven't seen anything majorly change in the game that really warranted uh, them taking DX10 support out, other than trying to force upgrade people, which is, I mean, what a lot of companies do nowadays. Back in the day, when a game released, it would release at its original specs, and if they upgraded, you could upgrade, but you could still play it at its original specs. Well, companies don't do that nowadays. They'll usually they're too lazy to bother to put in the work, and they'll just force you to upgrade altogether. So that's a very common theme now. It's not something I support, but apparently a lot of people obviously support it because companies get away with it. But I haven't really seen anything to make a huge difference or impact in the game. Um, the performance driver is it's pretty good if you're playing on like an older system. You know, it's kind of like bootleg DirectX 10 basically. The game has three DirectX versions: DX12, Beta, Performance DX, and then you got DirectX 11. On your average rig, I mean, I'd recommend most people play on DX11, but with the Performance DirectX, sometimes the avatars will show up properly, and sometimes you'll see a default. Uh, Towards the end of last season, you started getting this blue screen instead of the normal like backdrop. So it's pretty hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, or shows, and sometimes it doesn't. The other thing that I thought was noteworthy on the tech side of the house was that, and I found this out because I had an older monitor I originally started playing this game with. Resolutions. This game does not show you all the resolutions right off the bat. Now, the advantage this game does have, um, compared to a lot of battle royales, is that it has true full screen versus window mode full screen, which most games use nowadays. So that's a good thing. But when I had my older monitor, the game would tell me, that I could, have options of, lower resolutions if I wanted to do so. The minute I swapped to my HD monitor, the game stopped showing me those lower resolutions and only showed me the high resolutions. So, for those of you who want to use lower resolutions but you don't see the option, you will have to go into the settings configuration file to do those lower resolutions if you want to. Um, and when you do that, I would recommend that you set it to read only so the game doesn't change it. Um, so that's just a tip. That's something that's easily Googleable or easily able to be Googled. I can't talk worth anything this morning. Anyway, if anybody wants a video on how to do that, I'll be happy to do one if you request it. But it should be easy to find on Google. Shouldn't really be a problem finding where that file is for your settings. So the other thing that I kind of want to go into, and this is more for parents, and a lot of my opinions are going to probably not jive with the younger generation, and I don't really care. I'm an older guy, so obviously, my opinions are of my generation. It's not that I'm trying to like butt hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. But when it comes to the game being appropriate for kids, that's kind of hit and miss. And that really depends on you as a parent what you want to allow your child to be exposed to. And what I mean by that is, in my opinion, some of these avatars, like for example, you know, while like this one, like a lot, all the avatars are tastefully done. Let me just get that out the way. They are tastefully done, but like everything nowadays, and they probably see worse on TV anyway. Um, I feel like things are sexualized a little bit too much. Like these outfits, while they do cover up everything, I mean, they are definitely more sexy outfits than what you might want to have a little kid being exposed to. In their video game. You know, like this here, this is a sexy outfit. The girl with the mini skirt. I mean, you can clearly see the shapes. I'm not gonna go into detail, but you get what I'm talking about. But what they do, for those that aren't familiar, is she will actually have shorts underneath that skirt. For me, it was kind of awkward when I first started playing because, being a combat game, I kind of expected everybody to be like, having combat gear type outfits. So the first time I actually saw outfits like that, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of weird to me. Um, Here, like, I'm pretty cool with an outfit like this. You know, it's an army chick. So that to me that would make sense, or even like outfits like this. It just looks more combat orientated. But I mean, that is the thing about this game is that it's very colorful. It does have a lot of goofy stuff in it, and I'm not really trying to like kick them for their artwork or anything. All I'm saying is it's appropriate. Like for teens on up. For younger kids, I really would have to say that would depend on your child's mentality, how you raised your child, and how mature your child is. And I would definitely, pay attention to what they do. As with anything, I mean, as with anything, that's parenting common sense 101. Definitely pay attention to what your child is doing and who they're interacting with. Um, and that's just something that I feel like I really need to just kind of put out there, because more often than not, I come across videos or whatever on YouTube that will like tick me off because you get these idiot adults out here that will get on these games and mess with little kids just to try to make them try cry for the freaking likes on their YouTube video, like that's some kind of cool thing to do or something, and that has always gotten on my last nerve. Um, so I hate when I randomly come across. I don't like look them up, but every now and again I'll see one pop up, and I'm like, oh man, seriously. Uh, anyway, moving on. I did finally check out the zones that were updated on the map. I was impressed. They actually did a really good job. The game is very colorful this time around. Looks like somebody had paint wars, basically. So this season looks like it will be kind of interesting. Like I said, I wasn't too crash hot about the battle pass itself, but yeah, that's only because I mean, I look for themed avatars, so that's more a me issue. I mean, if you find something you like in that battle pass, then by all means, I hope you enjoy it. I mean, I've had different friends tell me different things they liked out of it, and for me, it was just the Vader and the Indiana Jones. But that was kind of my thing. Um, the other thing that I wanted to point out, is yes, they did take out these little locks. These were what I was talking about. You'll see them like on new existing avatars that during the season, like when you have to try to unlock them. You used to be able to see like the previous skins that you would have gotten on the ones from previous seasons, but for whatever reason they decided to remove that out entirely on the ones that you could see. You couldn't see it on all of them, but there were a lot of them that you were able to. So these were like basically definitely the locks that I was talking about. Well, they look white now, so basically the little circle with the lock. So that's what I was referring to yesterday. Um, anyway, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna kind of wrap this video up. I just kind of realized I had missed a few things. If there's anything else I think of, if it's only a couple of things, I'll just edit it in the description or whatever, and make a note of it. Anyway, y'all stay safe. Take care. Have a blessed one. Peace. Oh, one last thing before I go, guys. As far as on the parenting thing, when I was referring to the outfits, I also meant to add in something about like some of the emotes. And the only reason why I mentioned that, and this is not like a dig at any one artist or anything, and I'm only using her as an example. Like Cardi B has a emote in here that called Stuck, and in my opinion, artists like Cardi B, that's grown folks music. I mean, that's not music for like little kids. So, like, when you see emotes like this, they're basically, like shaking your booty, twerking, stuff like that. You know, that was like more to the point, like that combined with the outfits, is why I say there's some things in the game that kind of seem, a little overly sexualized, which seems to be a thing on, a lot of television shows nowadays. Um, so it's just something that I thought was worth pointing out. to parents, as to whether or not you want your kids, exposed to that or not, or if they're old enough, or mature enough to see this type of content, without getting stupid about it, I mean, y'all know how kids are or whatever, and they end up seeing this stuff on TV and then they go out doing stuff and then they mess around and get themselves in trouble. So, you definitely want to kind of, be on your parenting A game and, pay attention to the content that you are allowing your kids to be, exposed to when out here. That having been said, like I said, this is not a bad game. Um, and for the most part, it is a family friendly game. Um, but there are a few things in the game that, to me, I feel are a little bit more on the mature and the grown folks side of the house, and a little less on the little kids side of the house, and so that's the only reason I even felt, it being worth mentioning or whatever, because, it's very important, that parents are mindful of what their kids are getting up to. Anyway, that's all. That's all I really got to say about that on that note. Um, Again, everybody stay safe. Have a blessed one. Take it easy.